In a time where everything is about forgiveness, that's not always the answer for everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the Stealth 2 Plus range. So we're going to be out here on the Everyday Golfer today. I'm going to give these woods a test. We've currently got the 3 wood and the 5 wood that is in my bag. But we're going to be talking to our lower handicap golfer who potentially doesn't need forgiveness. We've seen in previous weeks Frankie has been using the more forgiving, the HD range of these clubs. But today we're going to be talking about this range because this is something where we are trying to take maybe some spin out for the better golfer. We know Frankie launches it high. If you're somebody who is watching the channel and you launch your woods a little bit too high, we get into a little bit of breeze like we are today and we're losing a lot of distance, and this could be for you. So I'm going to start off here with the 3 wood. Again, a little bit of a smaller profile than the HD version, which for a lot of people will be a little bit more pleasing on the eye. And straight away we can see the difference in flight there. Much lower there, that started nicely down the middle, drawn to the left hand side of the fairway, and it's a club that potentially you need to think about putting in your bag. Now the 5 wood for me looks a lot better behind the golf ball. So one big thing we can see with this range, with the Plus range, is that we've got a lot of adjustability here. So we know with the HD range we couldn't really change it, it was set in there. We can also change this weight here, so the 50 gram weight, we can make this go a little bit lower with a little bit less spin, or we can get it spinning high. So if we have the weight back, we're going to add a little bit of spin. If we move it forwards, that's going to get it launching a little bit lower. So that's where obviously the versatility of these clubs allow us to change the loft down. Could even play as a 7 wood. We could change this down, or we could add a little bit of loft, move that weight forward, and we could have a nice strong 7 wood, which is something that a lot of people could have in there. Probably more beneficial than the 3 wood. Comment below, are you somebody who says, well, my 3 wood goes the same as my driver, I'd be better off just using my 3 wood. But then how many times do you actually use your 3 wood? Something like this 5 wood might be a little bit better, might give you a little bit better gap in. It certainly looks a lot better down behind the golf ball to me. I mean, a little bit of slip in the backswing, but that was straight at it, launched nice and low, and that is on the middle of the green. So very interesting there, again straight out of the middle, which is a rarity as you know if you do watch the channel, but out of the middle there, came out with not much spin, so a nice ball flight, a penetrating ball flight into this wind. So you can still see that you can get a 5 wood, maybe this Stealth 2 Plus, and you can be able to hit some more greens and feel a little bit more confident with your fairway woods. So nicely just past pin high here on the par 5, so we've used the 3 wood, we've used the 5 wood, but now what we want to do is get it in the hands of the everyday golfer. We're going to get some numbers, we're going to compare it to his current woods and see if it's something that you should look at. Okay, so now we have the Plus version and the HD, and we have our low handicap golfer. So welcome back, Frankie.
Good morning.
Good morning. So down here, 2 different options, Frankie. You haven't tried the Plus yet with the adjustable weights, but you have tried the HD. Looking down them straight away, which one would you favour towards?
I mean, the big one looks a lot easier to hit, but we'll have to see about the numbers first.
Yeah, and is that something you would look for if you're looking at a 3 wood, something that looks easy to hit?
I don't know, I'm usually pretty confident with a 3 wood, but I don't know, it is nice to have a bit of forgiveness in a 3 wood if you're struggling with driver.
Yeah, so 2 different options here. So we can see that we've got a lot of adjustability in the Plus. Frankie has not hit the Plus yet, so we're going to hit with the HD that he has used in previous weeks, and then we're going to get in and get some numbers and show a comparison of these 2 clubs and showing how maybe we can do a few more things with the 3 wood, with the Plus, because we've got some adjustability. So then there'll be a separate video of that club showing how we can change the weights. But I am thinking that Frankie could favour a 5 wood and remove his 3 wood. So exactly as we expect, launches nice and high with the HD.
Ooh,
so
that was very high. Very
high.
Yeah.
It is downwind here, so that's a great shot down there. But now we're going to move into the Plus. But we can see we've got actually exactly the same degree of loft here. So actually this one's 16, so it's 1 degree more loft. Again, we know how forgiving this HD version is. Frankie's now got this set at 15 degrees standard loft, but we've got the weight forwards, so that should reduce a little bit of spin and get it coming out more of a knuckleball. This is where for Frankie potentially it could go too far, so this is something that we would play around with. But that's the good thing about the Plus, we have the versatility. So, a totally different ball flight. Nice and low, nice and penetrating, and a long way down there. But we're going to go down there now. We're going to actually hit these two golf balls into the green and show would one be better than the other. So as we know by his nickname, he is known for his fairways, and two here right in the middle. So first of all, HD, Frankie. So again, launched pretty high and it had 1 degree more of loft on there, but you did mention that with the Plus, you did actually hit it quite off the bottom.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bottomy one, but it came out quite nice still. But it's still gone further even with a worse strike. So.
Yeah, so still with a worse strike has gone further. If that was out of the middle, we might have seen that it might be, you know, a good 20, 30 yards past it, which is very interesting with these two clubs. But a 3 was a club that you might use into a par 5, Frankie.
Yeah, probably, because I don't hit it super long. So I'm not one of them that hits like drive a 7-iron into all the par 5s. It's like, if I hit a decent drive, I might get an 9 in, but most of the time it's 3 wood. So.
Yeah, so we're going to actually move back here and we're going to hit 2 3 woods into this green, because obviously we should start to see that the HD actually might be a little bit more beneficial in the current settings, because we know that the Plus is designed, or we've got it all set to be launching low. Check out next week's video, which will be with this club, but it's something that you've not seen on the channel before. So before Frankie hits, let's jump into the studio, let's have a look at some numbers and see obviously what flights we get, what spin rates and what distance we are getting with these 2 3 woods. First up, you'll see the numbers from the Stealth HD, so we can see club head speed just under 100 miles an hour, which is good for Frankie, a carry of 219.1 and a total of 240. If we look at obviously peak heights on there, we can see very much up on average towards the 30-yard mark. We had one that was like some out on the golf course that potentially might launch a little bit lower, a little bit low on the face. It will stay down, but it still got out to that number. So right to left dispersion, we can see a little bit up to the right, which is exactly what we'd see from Frankie's tendencies. Club path a little bit across the ball and club face open. We had the one that pulled a little bit left, and that's the one that launched low. If we go over to the Stealth 2 Plus now, we can see Frankie was swinging it the same, so still across it with an open face. He actually got a little bit more club head speed with this, so up to 102 miles an hour, so up 2 miles an hour, but very interesting. Only up 1 yard in carry, so 220 yards carry, but exactly what we'd expect to see with that weight forwards is 253, so an extra 13 yards in total. If we also look at the peak heights, we've had one that nearly reached 30 yards high, but the rest are probably on average just under 20 yards high, so the height is totally different. So coming into the greens, that's something you've got to take into account. Are you using this off the tee because you're not comfortable with your driver, or are you using it to hit into par 5s? Potentially that could run out, but let's get back out onto the golf course now, see Frankie hits into this green, and then you decide which one you need to go and try. You can see by the numbers, we can see that we're getting a little bit more run out, as you would expect from the Plus version with the weight settings as it is. We also see that we're getting a lot more launch with the HD, again doing exactly what it is for that kind of golfer who needs a little bit more launch, who goes for the HD version. That's why you are going for it. Again, nicely there, that's launch. A medium flight, not too high there from Frankie. That was the HD. We will bring in the Plus now for Frankie. A little bit heely. We're out here at 240 yards, so it is downwind, so Frankie should be there or thereabouts with that. Again, confident behind that one, Frankie?
Yeah, they both look nice. They both look very good at address.
Oh, Frankie likes
which is
the look of
important.
them. He likes the sound of them. Comment
Yeah.
below, do they swing well? Do they sound well when they're swinging? Frankie has just discussed that, and I agree with him.
The whoosh.
The whoosh of the downswing. But the Plus here, that sounded fantastic, Frankie. Actually launched higher on that. Again, you misstruck that one.
Yeah.
And that's pitched on the green, and he's running up there. So let's get down there, have a look. But two great options that you need to consider. So I was just wondering where one ball had gone. So we can see with the HD, even with the missed strike, it's pitched on the green and it stopped very quickly. So that's a fantastic shot there from 240 yards. But Frankie has found the other ball. He's waving us down, and we can see that it's landed a little bit further on the green, but obviously then ran through. So you know, a great shot because it's gone a long way, but maybe gone too far, Frankie.
Too far. I mean, you wouldn't be bothered into a par 5, but that's obviously the better shot, so it's like, I don't know.
If you'd gone for a par 5 in 2, you'd take it because you passed the pin, you're happy to just get there. So guys, 2 great options there from TaylorMade. So with the Stealth 2 range, it's obviously you're thinking about, do you use it off the tee or are you somebody who uses it into the green? You need something that fits both. If you're somebody who uses it off the tee, the Stealth Plus with the weight settings forwards could be fantastic because it's taking a little bit of spin off, it's getting it launching lower, it's getting it running further, especially in the current times of the year. If you're somebody who hits it into the green and you don't get much launch in general and you're just looking for a club that gets you a little bit further, then the HD version is fantastic. It's exactly what you're wanting to look for, but it all depends, again, on handicap. Frankie said that he may have the HD in the bag because it looks a little bit bigger, it's a little bit more forgiving. He might go a little bit of a stronger loft, you can get it down at 15 instead of 16, therefore he might get it out there. But if he's playing in windy conditions, if he's playing a lot of links golf, then maybe that wouldn't be the club for him. So certainly try them both out. We're going to be doing more videos on the Stealth 2 Plus because we're going to move the weights around here. We're going to start to see, right, can we get it launching higher? What does it say on TrackMan? And comment below, guys, what else you want to see from Frankie Fairways. But we'll see you again later in the week.